So, in terms of what I want to get into, Darwin, now is your website talks about Flow Design being 100% MBE owned and operated firm. Could you speak to that? Like when you say it's certified by Minority Business Enterprise, what does that mean? What does it mean when a firm does that, and how does one go about it? Again, this would answer a question for somebody, one, looking at a juncture where they're starting their firm. Can they benefit from something like this? And two would be, as even a client, when I'm looking at that, what does that mean to me?
Hmm. So there are different MBE certifications. There are like federal certifications and state certification, and some cities have their own ones, like the city of Boston has its own. So what it means is that you are part of a minority group. It could be women, it could be, African American, Latino. It's a minority group, non-Caucasian, non-American, the standard that we know. So, and what it does is that it opens certain doors. One, because the requirements for procurement of public projects are becoming much more stringent. They're trying to shift policy so that there is more for all of us, right? Like, there's always like a dedicated percentage of projects that shall go to minority and WBE offices. So that percentage is growing. And, and again, going to the pipeline change, they haven't been meeting those numbers. They have not met those numbers. In fact, last Friday, I had a meeting with a group of MBE offices and WBE offices that were talking to lawmakers and people, decision makers, on why hasn't the number been met and why are X, Y, and Z firms getting those projects. And there is a lot of systemic changes and structural changes, and even training in the selection process that needs to happen. But that's it. Just to answer your question, very focused. So a company or an individual or a client or an entity that wants to invest on women-owned, minority-owned businesses will find this appealing, and they will know that we are an MBE certified by the state, but they also will know that what we bring into the table, right? We bring other things into the table that no other offices can bring into the table. So it's not necessarily a flex, like, oh, I'm an MBE. I mean, it's like you are who you are, right? I would want to, I would want to. I hoped more doors would have opened by being an MBE certified than the ones that have opened. There haven't been that many doors open, but it's certainly made a difference. It has given us a little bit of an edge with entities that really want to invest in MBEs. Like, for instance, there was a selected competition for MBEs with Harvard University. They invited 6 firms to bid. We won that bid, actually, but they were strategic. They wanted an MBE company. They didn't, that's part of their goals, right? To increase those numbers too. And we've been invited to other ones with MIT, with Northeastern University too, that are just for MBEs too. So, they could find us easier. It's like, there's a registry and you just go and look for firms that are MBEs. There are not many. It's just a handful. Sadly, it's only a handful. But that's how it's been. It's a process to get certified. Somebody's trying to do that. They have to check what groups or categories they would belong to. There's many different ones, so you have to check, and that shifts all the time. It could be like a sex category, like whatever way preference you have. It could be a demographic or racial group, and things like that. So, but the state sets that up, and you go to a conference. At least that's how I did it. So you go to a conference for like half a day, and then there they assign a certifier person that will talk to you, come to your place of work. They will want certain invoices. They will want sort of like legal items that show that you've been in business, and you have to provide your paperwork, your, passport and things like that, so that they see, okay, this person is a minority. This, how many pieces, what's the stock? How is it divided? The stocks or the ownership of the company. So us is 100%. So we're, the owners are 100% minority business enterprise members. So that's how we have it.